Like Vision to me, like Vision is like the big brother that you don't want. But like no, but for real, like he's really dope. He'll make fun of you. Like if he makes fun of you, that's how you know you're part of the family. Like he'll pass jokes around you here and there. I get like Vision makes fun of me about every time I see him. You know, he picks on me a lot. But you know, he's a really good mentor. You know, he'll always help you, not just with poems. You know, with situations in life. You know, he genuinely cares about you. Like it's not like you're just like a student or a mentee or something like that. It's actually you're part of the family. Like he actually cares about you, and he's not only giving you tips on poems and whatever. He's giving you tips on life. Like he's helping you better yourself as a poet and as a person. So you know, like Vision is really like a big brother figure to me. You know, like he's part of my second family.
I've tasted karma in your kiss one too many times. She was a little too itchy for my liking when your saliva slapped my slab of skin. I felt somebody else's spit seeping into my pores. You opened too many doors. I shouldn't have let mine crack. You've cracked too many backs. I have lipstick stains on my spine. You got too many women standing in line. You use me like tampons.
My name is Vision. I'm from North Philly, artistic director of PYPM, head co-coach of Team Black, Team Philly. Team Black is the poetry team of Philly. PYPM is the program, Philadelphia Youth Poetry Movement. Team Black is the actual poetry team that competes at Brave New Voices every year. The actual term Team Black came from the 2010 Brave New Voices team, and it's a double meaning. All things poetry typically have double meanings. And the double meaning was, number one, it was an all dark-skinned team with the exception of one poet. It was a dark-skinned team. And so it was a play on words like, yo, we're Team Black, like literally black. The double meaning of it was also that we challenge our writers that when you're gonna step on stage, you gotta black, you gotta go in. You ever look at Jimi Hendrix on stage playing his guitar, he's in another world. He said all the time that when he was playing guitar on stage, it was like he was looking down on himself playing guitar. It was like he wasn't there. And we challenge our writers, if you're gonna perform, if you're gonna get on stage, you're gonna slam a poem, slam a piece, slam a poem, you gotta go in. You gotta go all the way in. And if you go in, then somebody will pull you back out. So Team Black represents, you know, blacking out on stage and understanding that somebody's gonna, you got an army of people behind you that bring you out of that. Dashikis and war paint is just the chant, you know, that's the war cry. That's the, every war team, every tribe, every you know warring faction had their little cheers, their little chants, and while this is war, it's something fun that we like to do, trying to hype ourselves up. And the response has been crazy. You got kids in South Africa saying that a kid hit me up from Kathmandu who knew the Team Black Dashikis and War Paint chant. So it's kind of become bigger than itself. That goes to show that something organic that happened in Greg's apartment is now a global thing. I've been writing poetry forever, like, you know, since I was little. Like, my mom had me reading and writing at a very young age. So I would write anything I could, you know, short stories, poems, plays, anything that I felt like doing at the moment I would write. I started doing spoken word poetry around 2001, 2002. I heard the first time Saul Williams, and I was like, wait a minute, you can do it like that? Like, I've always written poetry, but I didn't realize you could do it the way he did it. I was like, yo, that's what I want to do in my life. Like, I know what I want to do now. Like, that's what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Poetry is my life. It's nothing even about, there's no changing at all. Poetry is my life. You know, I perform it, I teach it, I coach it, I tour doing poetry. I do, like, poetry is my life. I'm a full-time artist. I have no 9 to 5. I work for nobody else. PYPM is who I choose to bang with, who I choose to, you know, do workshops through, and that's because it's a collective of artists who are doing the right thing for the right reasons. So, you know, I don't have a boss. You know, poetry is my boss. Poetry is what I do. It's my salvation. If somebody told me tomorrow I couldn't do it, I don't know what I would do in my life. Like, if I couldn't teach it, if I couldn't coach it, if I couldn't write it, I would be purposeless. I grew up in North Philly, 22nd and Indiana, 22nd and Lippincott. It's my father's from, it's my mom is originally from. I went to Simon Grass High School. I'm a product of the Philadelphia public school system. I went to Dickinson College, after that a really small liberal arts college, and all these things kind of shaped who I am. I kind of got the North Philly side of me refined in college, but also brought that kind of cultural flavor to the school. So I'm an amalgamation of the different things. My father's Irish Italian, my mother's black. It's always a mixture of different things within me, and that's essentially what America's supposed to be about anyway, the melting pot. So I kind of represent the melting pot. Somebody asked me if God came to me and was like, yo, you gotta choose, between mentoring / teaching / coaching poetry and performing, what would you do? And it really would be an issue. I would choose to work with these poets of my own career. Even though I love touring, I love writing, I love being on stage, but for me it's more purpose in creating other writers and grooming writers to find their own voice. So I've been doing this since the inception of PYPM. Greg called me in 06 and with the idea, and he ran with it. And I was kind of on the fringe for a while. And 2010, I started helping him coach. 2011 is when I became coach myself, when Greg kind of stepped inside. And me and my co-coach Copy been running with it ever since. Like, this is really what we do. Like, we do this for real. Like, we love doing this. We breathe, we eat, we sleep PYPM. Like, that's everything to us. This is our purpose.
I can't leave. I'm not like a dancer, but I'm down into y'all like some shoulder shrugging, man.
I'm the one who got homies that be selling drugs.
Poetry is what you make it. Everybody has their own idea what poetry is, and that's the beauty of this. You're gonna get some people who strictly love page poetry. They don't really bang, but they don't really like spoken word poetry. You're gonna get some spoken word poets who don't really get page poetry. Some people like Saul Williams, who also like Emily Dickinson, who also like Maya Angelou, who also like Paul Laurence Dunbar. But it's what you make of it. It's what, like, that's the beauty of it. Is poetry is the umbrella. Whether we're talking hip hop, whether we're talking limerick, it's all one umbrella. With which everything kind of fits underneath. So there's no definition of it. And people who have a definition of it are really just saying like what they like, what their favorite thing is. Like when somebody says this is the best form of poetry, they're saying this is my favorite form of poetry. This is what I happen to like. There's no rubric. It's art. And art is what we make it. And that's the beauty of art. We decide what's great and what's not. I'm gonna tell you what somebody told me. When I asked this question to a brother named Bernard Collins. He's a legend. He's a legendary Philly poet. Bernard Collins Jr., one of the dopest just artists in general. And I asked him, I looked up to him when I first came, when I still look up to him. He's still a great mentor. I said, how do I become a good writer? He said, you gotta become a good reader. He said, you don't read, you're never gonna grow as a writer. So you gotta be feeding your mind something. You gotta be learning something new, or every poem is gonna sound the same. And above anything, just write. Don't try to create a perfect poem. If you're a slam poet, don't try to write a 30 poem. Just write. Write what's on your heart. Write what's on your mind. Write the poem that needs to be heard, needs to be read. Write the poem that you've been running from. You gotta just write. Like, writer's block doesn't exist. It's a thing that we create when we're uninspired, when we're trying to be, we're trying to be more than the moment. All you put pen to pad, write stream of consciousness, just write. And then share it. Get it edited by people that you respect. Go to an open mic and perform it. I came up on an open mic saying nobody starts writing and gets
find the girl who wrote my other poems, but I can't find her inside me. I don't want her to look inside me. I'm scared I won't be the Sasha.
You get a following, more people like you, you grow, you write. Eventually you'll be who you want to be and start challenging yourself to go to the next level. I've been doing this, since like 01, on the open mic scene and at a feature scene. I'm still nervous. Before I go on stage, I got butterflies. I still have crazy stage fright. But I use that to fuel myself. I just did a show in Montreal last week, and I was scared to death before I went on stage. There's a bunch of French Canadians. I'm like, yo, what if this doesn't work? What if they don't get me? What if they don't understand my experience? And you gotta understand that sometimes people aren't gonna have the same experience you do, but if you've written it well enough, they'll get you. They'll understand where you're coming from. And I wish I had a secret. I just remember why I wrote the poem. I remember that it has purpose. I remember that there's a reason I did it. And I go up there and I spit it like I was just at my computer writing it, or I was just at a table penning it. You know, it's always got to be in that moment that you wrote it. And that's how you stay connected to the poem. But I don't have a panacea. I wish I had like this formula to tell you this is how you do it, but you're gonna find your own thing. You're gonna find your own way, what makes you comfortable.
The Philly Youth Poetry Movement is a nonprofit that teaches kids about creative writing through slam poetry, and we believe in empowering kids by teaching them the value of their own voices and giving them the opportunity to share with each other and make new friends and network using the arts.